Hey, my name is Jennifer. This is Metatron speaking. Today's video is going to be a Lightworker gateway video. If you are new to this channel, again, my name is Jennifer. I'm a channeler. I channel mostly angels, sometimes ascended masters and gods or goddesses. I'm also clairvoyant. You'll often see me look off to the side in order to get a visual so I can understand what's going on. The Lightworker Gateway videos, if you haven't seen one before, if you're not familiar with it, each about every 30 days, a uh, opening in the veil that's currently there is being used to send energies from different galactic groups each 30 days, approximately, to Earth. And so the energies that are being sent are beneficial. Like I mentioned, they're always from a different galactic group, and they're being targeted at light workers, which you may or may not resonate with that word. What a light worker is at this point in time is anyone on Earth who is very motivated to spread love and light. So that can look entirely different depending on who you are and what you're doing with that. And that's perfectly fine. It should look different. So, Lightworker Gateway, the dates on this one, they keep moving along. And so for this one, it's actually lined up perfectly with the month itself. So this is going to start on December 1st of this year, and it's going to end on January 1st, 2024. So it's just almost perfectly lined up with the month itself. So this is the Lyran Gateway, and this is going to be strengthening the Alta Major Chakra. So I'll talk to you more about that. The Alta Major Chakra is what was previously a minor chakra. If you are a light worker, it is now a major chakra. It's still a minor chakra for non-light workers. It's a chakra that's located at the base of your head, top of your neck, in that area. And so I'll talk to you more about that as well. So Lyra, everyone always talks about Lyra like it's a planet. It's not a planet. It's a constellation. And so to us on Earth, it looks like a constellation of stars. But if you were in a higher dimension, you would see that it's actually a constellation of planets. So every time you see a star here on Earth, that's actually a planet in a different dimension. It's a lot of planets. So let's see. The most famous planet in that constellation is Vega. You may or may not know it. Not a big deal if you do or don't. So I've only had one interaction with Vegans at this point, as far as, channeling and visually seeing them and whatnot. And so this was, it must have been sometime early this year that it happened. And so there was a male and a female that I interacted with, and the male was named 9P51, and he allowed me to call him Sam because that's much easier to say. And I also interacted with a female named I49T. So Sam spoke to me about the importance of sharing spiritual information so that others can learn more quickly. And the female, I49T, spoke about how changing yourself will change all versions of you and set you free. And I'm sorry for all the bumping around here. I have 2 cats and 1 dog, and the dog is like actually bumping up against my light right now. Rocket, lay down, bud. Relax. There we go. He's super sensitive to energies, so it makes me wonder if the fact that we have these strange, unfamiliar Lyran energies and whatnot here is kind of looks like stop. It's freaking him out a little bit. Animals can see and hear all kinds of things that we can't. Like, I'm not aware that there's other guides here right now. Rocket, stop. But I know there are, but I would have to actually tune into that energy in order to see it. I'm not constantly seeing an overlap between dimensions. I have to tune into it, and I can only see what I'm specifically looking for. Let's see. Okay, I want to tell you, just to remind you, to give you a little bit of familiarity with Vega, at least. This is only one of the planets there, but just to remind you of what I do know about them, I wanted to give you a little description of their planet and my last encounter. So, their planet, unfortunately, is mostly dirt. It was a very barren planet. So, their planet was attacked by cyborgs. It was nearly destroyed, and so they're in the process now of rebuilding it, and it takes a long time. And as a race, as a group, actually, I'll tell you that in a moment, is what he's telling me to do. Let me tell you what they look like. So, visually, 9P51 or Sam, he looks like kind of like a stereotypical extraterrestrial. He's got whitish gray skin. He's tall. He's lean. No body hair. Really big black eyes that, are extraterrestrial like. No facial expressions because all the communication is telepathic. So you don't need to be able to do facial expressions. Um, the distinguishing feature about this race that I noticed, it's like the only thing that lets me know that it's a vegan and not like somewhere else. On their scalp, they have like these little black hits, for lack of a better description. So I'm not sure what they're used for, but they all have them. When he showed me vegans working on the planet, I saw lots of individuals, and they were wearing like metal suits covering their entire bodies. And they looked really similar to stormtroopers from Star Wars. Now, I'm not a big Star Wars fan, but I think everyone knows what a stormtrooper looks like. So they looked extremely similar to that. They wear those suits so that all their knowledge can be downloaded in real time to a central location so that everyone has access to it. So this is kind of big because how do I explain this? Um, so that concept of everyone sharing information is actually something that we use amongst our own soul. So your individual soul is split and divided, and there's duplicates of you, and some of you are on Earth, and some of you are on other planets, and some of your soul is just hanging out in the higher dimensions. So you're everywhere right now. What happens when you incarnate is you have experiences, you learn things, you get knowledge, you practice your gifts, then you die, and then you go back to your higher self, and you like download your experiences into this higher self. So whatever you've done after you die, you will benefit all versions of you by giving it back to the higher self, which distributes it back to everyone. So that's the process that we go through as souls. It's cool because this planet is doing that every day in real time, not just for the soul, obviously, but they're spreading information and what they're learning to each other. So think of how much quickly, as a race, they would evolve, or think of how quickly humanity would evolve if everything everyone knew was being shared across everyone in the moment, in the day, right away. So it's essentially an artificial collective, so that, and they're using the technology. The thing that I like about them is they're using a lot of technology, but they're using the technology in a way that benefits everyone. And so it's actually a wise way to use technology. A lot of other galactic groups, I shouldn't say a lot, but there are many galactic groups where they are leaning too heavily on technology, and the technology is starting to replace what should be driven by the soul. So let's see. So as a race, vegans value community, collective mentality, benefiting all. Let's see. So that's the kind of background information I wanted to give you. So I called Sam. I call 9P51 or Sam, and he is an incarnation of Metatron. So I very much love and trust Metatron's energy when I come across it. So he was very joyful right away. I ask him if he will show me other Lyran planets, and he tells me yes. He says only one. And so he chooses a planet called Sulafat, which I don't think I've ever used that word on this channel. So Sulafat is another planet on that's part of the Lyran constellation. If you were to Google it, it would come up as a star in the Lyran constellation. This is the Lyran planet where feline-like beings live. So I've talked about encountering feline-like beings before because I had one encounter where one came and attacked me energetically. I've had many past lives where I've seen them, unfortunately, many past lives on their planet where I've had very traumatic experiences um, of being murdered. I've seen a lot of lifetimes where I've been part of the Lyran Wars. So when these, planets are being attacked and taken over by lower vibrational races and either enslaved, killed, experimented on, tortured. So I've seen lots of those lifetimes from Lyra. Um, so this is the planet that he chooses, and I'm very familiar with it already. So I'm like, are you sure you want to do that one? And he says yes. And I was like, is it going to be traumatic? And then he doesn't answer. And so I understood when he did not answer. He gave me a knowing that it's basically free will between me and my guides. It's like, well, this is what I have planned for you. If you want this, then go check it out. And if you don't, then you don't. And so I'm like, okay, I want to lay down Oliver. I want to know what this is. I have Oliver walking here. Oliver, I don't know what it is. Everyone is so unruly. We don't know who these Lyran guides are. We're gonna have a hard time settling it. Yeah. I'm so tired, but I can't rest. You would think that you could rest better with Lyran guides around. They're giant cats, basically. They're like your ancestors. No, I don't know. Probably not, but similar something. Okay. So I decide to go into this vision. So we are on Sulafat. It looks exceptionally similar to Earth. There are multi-story buildings. There's like concrete to walk on, like we have for sidewalks. There's like green grassy areas, like little parks. There's trying to think what else. It's like there's little businesses and shops where you can buy things. It's an existence almost exactly like humanity. They just look different. They stand upright, they wear clothes, they have jobs, they have, they go on dates. Like they have a very similar existence to ours. So let's see. So I'm in an area that's looks like it's meant to where you would go shopping, where you would maybe go to work, where you would get some food, like that kind of setup. There's lots of glass windows in the buildings. All of them are multiple stories high. There was a fountain outside and small tables and chairs where people could sit and eat their lunch or whatnot. It feels like it's midday, it's sunny outside. And then Sam and I sit by the fountain, and like I look into the water and I laugh because there's goldfish in there. At first I was like, "Oh, that's cool, goldfish." And then I was like, "These are like cat people. Like of course there's goldfish in the fountain. Like cats love fish." So I was laughing about it. Um, and then I see a female Lyran, feline-like, approaching us. I say Lyran. She's from Sulafat, but how do you say that? Sulafatian? I don't know. Anyways, so she's approaching. She's got white fur. She's got blue eyes. And so I'm like, okay. And the next thing I know, we were transported out of that outdoor area, and I was laying down on like a medical table, and it looked more like a surgery room. Like there's a lot of metal, everything's sterile. So typically, if you go into a vision or a dream and you find yourself laying on your back and someone is going to do like surgery on you, you should like wake up or get the heck out of there, because 99% of the time that something bad is going to happen. But I know I know Metatron is my gatekeeper. I know that he's got a version of himself that's communicating with me about this planet. And so I let them do what they're going to do, because I'm not worried about something bad happening as a result of it, because I know what souls I have in front of me. And even though I haven't figured out this white feline soul yet, there's nothing bad coming off of her whatsoever. And so because I can feel energies, that makes life a lot easier. Let's see. So the white cat, because I don't have a name for her, the white cat is going to work on me, is what I say. She's the size of a human, by the way, in case you had questions. Like, they're our size. Oh, yeah. So she's working on my head, and she's not putting something in. She's actually taking something out. So this was such a trippy vision. So she's like working on my head, taking something out of my head, and then all of a sudden I go, Isis, and I call her Isis, because all of a sudden I know that's who this is. So I'm referencing her as the Egyptian goddess Isis. She winks at me. I've only talked to Isis one other time, and she was actually kind of sassy with me. And I gave you guys the message that she gave. It was really short. We had a really short chat, and because she was sassy, I didn't really feel obligated to talk to her again, so I haven't talked to her since. So all of a sudden I'm like, Isis, and then it's like, well, that's weird. How do I know her so well that I'm recognizing her in another body? I don't know. Anyways, um, so here's the thing. So I'm aware. I was talking to Who was I talking to? Was I talking This is okay, this is actually really weird. So about more than a year ago, I was channeling and Ramses the First came through, and at first I was like, "Holy cow." Like, I don't know anything about Ramses the First, but he came through and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get a really important message." I was so excited. And then I was like, "Okay, Ramses, what's your message?" And it was funny. He was like, "Only you can love yourself, Jennifer." Like, I was going through this period of time where my guides were like drilling into me, you need to love yourself. You need to love yourself. You need to take care of yourself. Quit putting yourself last. And so every time I tried to channel something, it was giving me that message. I was like, there'd be like, butterflies flying in my face, or, all these strange animals crossing my path. And so I'd be like, butterflies, what is your message for me? And they'd be like, you need to love yourself. So it was kind of fun. It's funny now. It was annoying when it was happening. So Ramses the First came through to tell me to love myself. And then we chatted for like a very quick second. And he was telling me that I've been either a high priest or a high priestess multiple times. And he indicated it was for Ra. Osiris, Isis, and then twice for Anubis. And so the fact that I've been either a high priest or a high priestess for Isis indicates I know that soul really well. You don't take a position like that in a lifetime unless there's a close relationship there. So I knew I had to know her, but I was like, dang, this chick's really sassy with me. I don't know what's going on. Okay. Let me pull up my notes. So I tell her name is Isis. She winks at me because it is Isis, and then she continues to work on my head. So she's pulling something out of my head. I know what she's pulling out of my head because I've been doing black magic clearings a lot recently, and I had a really intense situation where I was removing hexes from the client, and the entity that put the hexes on the client was really angry that I was removing those. Of course, this is like a normal process. And so as a result of that, I had an energetic situation where I received black magic implants. So one, I didn't even know that was possible. Now I do. I thought it was just galactic implants. There is black magic implants. I was given them. So one thing I want to mention is that the only reason that I was attacked, the only reason I was allowed to be attacked, well, two reasons. I was allowed to be attacked because I have a soul contract that allows it in situations where I can learn from it or somebody else can learn from it. So there's that. So it's allowed as part of my soul contract. And they did it because I had no idea what a black magic implant was, and now I do. And so there was a purpose to it. So it's not that my guides are weak or my process is not sufficient. It's that it needed to be allowed, and so it was. So she's helping me out. She's pulling out these black magic implants. Why do I keep losing my place? This is crazy. Um, and so I also had something placed into my head when I was attacked, and I also had something placed like behind my eyes that was making it extremely hard for me to look over and tune into the visual information that I'm used to getting. So it's just annoying. So she's working on me. My eyes are glowing blue. So I know that she's like working on whatever they did to my eyes. I have to Google Isis because I literally know nothing about her. So I find that she is the Egyptian goddess of healing, protection, and magic. So she's literally like the perfect guide to have help me with healing, black magic, for so that I can be protected. Like it was kind of hilarious. This was crazy. She was like opening up my mouth and pulling out things that like look like teeth. And I was like, are those implants? And she's like, yes. And I was like, those are like black magic implants? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, tell me what they do. She says, they were shielding your voice from its usual divine power because I have guides who line up with me. And so when I'm speaking, there's a higher vibration to what I'm saying than if I'm just speaking by myself. And sometimes they speak through me and it's like an activation or it's like a light code where you're getting a lot of high vibration information. It's not just a human being talking. So she keeps working on me. She's like feeling down my throat. She's pulling out more things. She like showed me what she was removing. They look like these little tiny white ninja stars. She moves to my heart chakra, and I'm like, man, they got me that badly? I just thought they got my head. And she's like, no, they got a bunch of you. She said they used an indiscriminate way to give you as many as possible. So in my mind, I'm almost thinking like when, and this is unfortunately an American problem mostly, but We have problems with people shooting other people, one shooter trying to take out many people. And so they'll use um, automatic or semi automatic weapons in order to damage as many people as quickly as possible. And so it's that kind of concept with what was done to me, where they're using an indiscriminate method to throw out weapons, in this case, implants, to impact as much of me as possible. She says, he is a very insidious energy, hoping to maximize damage to you. And I said, he's an incarnation of the devil. She says, yes. Um, and then so I was asking her, like, are you going to give me the Lightworker message? And she says, yes. I asked her, do you want me to call you Isis? Even though, like, you had a different name when you were on Sulafat, when you were in this body. Do you want me to call you Isis, or do you want me to call you the other name? And she said, Isis. And then I was like, do you prefer your Egyptian name, Aset? And she says, yes. And then so she kind of softened. So she was working on my head. Felt like a headache. Okay. So she had to work on me because she told me, like, okay, you're going to be fine. Now you can hear me well enough that you can channel this message, because I had too much stuff in my head for her to talk to me from the get-go. So she had to do that first. So after she was done, she looked like Aset, or she looked like Isis. Like, she was like looking like an Egyptian human. And I told her, I was like, you literally look like an Egyptian right now. And she asked me, do you want me to project my, like, my Lyran feline body instead? And I was like, no, 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 like, you're beautiful, that's fine. Um, and so she says, my soul has a connection. So Aset, or Isis, the goddess, her soul has a connection to Lyra beyond my incarnations. I watch over it, intercede for it in the higher realms. Lyra does not have a high council. What? They are too fragmented. Not all planets in that constellation agree on how best to support each other. There are disagreements and tensions there. Darkness has taken hold of many of its citizens, particularly on Sheliak, which is the avian like planet, is the only thing I know about it. She says, I will not show you that planet, but there is a deep ongoing battle there between dark and light. This battle has spilled out into other parts of the galaxy. It is not so unlike Earth. The Lyrans, those who stand with the light, are standing with Earth now, and so am I. We are sending energies to Earth to assist the Alta Major Chakra. It is a crucial chakra to a Lightworker, and eventually it will be functional in all of humanity. The work we do this month is in preparation for the year ahead. The Alta Major Chakra allows you to connect to high vibrational energies that are cosmic, mystical, sacred, or even divine. If you can incorporate the color teal into your wardrobe or surroundings, now is the time to do it to further support this particular frequency. This is not an expansion of the chakra, rather, it is a tuning. And so I hear her play like a single note, and at the vibration of the Alta Major Chakra, and so I feel it in that location on me. Aset says, if you play the singing bowl for your throat chakra and your heart chakra at the same time, it will create the right frequency, to reach the Alta Major Chakra. She's like, I'm clearing your throat chakra because she had played that note. When I told you guys about the note, she played it again, like I could hear it. And she's like, it's clearing your throat. And right now, I actually feel like I do need to clear my throat, which is kind of funny. So she says, yeah, so if you play a note for the throat chakra, just if you have singing bowls, if you play the note for the throat chakra and the heart chakra at the same time, it ends up being the frequency of the Alta Major Chakra. Just as the color of the chakra is between green, the heart chakra, and blue, the throat chakra. And so it's weird because it's like green is here, blue is here, but up here is green blue. And I'm like, that's weird. And so I said, isn't the throat chakra below the Alta Major Chakra? And she said, the human throat is below the Alta Major Chakra, but the throat chakra includes the mouth and the nose. I did not know that. So she says, as we fine tune your Alta Major Chakras, it may trigger a reaction in your heart and throat chakras, depending on the person. Apparently, I have a lot of trauma to clear. You may notice that you can speak more clearly from the heart. The Alta Major will allow your soul to receive higher dimensional information, though the mind may not be aware. This is a gentle adjustment, though the impacts may be powerful. The Lyrans say to you, their sisters and brothers, that divinity belongs to all. Do not allow yourselves to be enslaved to another. Do not allow yourself to be enslaved to an idea or a way of life. The soul is much more than your narrow identities. You must choose to expand into your full selves or risk enslavement from others. This is not to bring you fear, but awareness. Look to the galactic histories. Look to your Earth's history. Those who are fearful to take up space can lose their freedom to those who are looking to take and to overstep. This history repeats everywhere until souls claim their sovereignty. You have a right to exist. You have a right to live. You have a right to protect your energy and your space and your time. You who are listening now, you are the spiritual leaders of this planet. You are awake now for a reason. You have awareness of unseen things right now for a reason. Humanity is at a critical time, and you, dear one, are here to tip the scales in favor of the light. You have your own struggles, yes, that is part of this. How can you change the world if you cannot even change yourself? Look within and empower yourself as a warrior does, with the shield of light, with the sword of truth, and with the breastplate of love. You are more than the life you've lived thus far. You are more than your past choices. You are more than your mistakes. Your soul knows these things already, but the mind will never understand. Do not waste time trying to convince your mind of something that it cannot see. Your mind is not meant to understand. Allow your soul to lead. So that is the end of their message. Isis and myself and Metatron, we have put together a crystal grid to help support the Alta Major Chakra during this month, or I think it might be like 31-day period. I'm not sure. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Here is your Alta Major Chakra support crystal grid. Look at the beautiful colors on this crystal grid. So the Alta Major Chakra is associated with the color teal, which is like this color right here. And so we have those dark green and blue colors throughout the crystal grid. Let's see. I'm just trying to see if they want to bring your attention to anything in particular. The kind of the inspiration that they gave me behind this crystal grid, they were showing me a peacock and the peacock feathers. And it just so happens that I had one of my dear friends send me some little tiny, gorgeous peacock feathers recently. So I've included these to have their energy as part of the crystal grid. Let's see. I feel like they want to tune into something about the crystals. Okay. Okay, they're drawing me to these. So let's talk about this. So there is a very gorgeous quartz crystal that you can get with a specific type of inclusion. Ooh, I'm not sure if I know how to say it. I believe it's dumortierite. Man, I might have to put this in the description because it's a really long word. Dumortierite. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. But it's this gorgeous blue color that comes in clear quartz, and it's kind of expensive. Um, Gandalf, the White Wizard, is actually the one who was obsessed with it when I was shopping one day, and he was telling me I needed to buy it because it serves a lot of purposes, or can serve a lot of purposes within a crystal grid. So it brings a real high level of magical energy to a grid. So we've brought that in. Um, yeah, it's funny. So I do shopping for my crystals, usually on Etsy, which is like an online store where you can purchase crystals and they mail them to you. Um, and when I do my shopping, my guides are the ones pointing out what they want me to purchase a lot of the time. And it was kind of funny because let me see if I don't have it nearby. I was purchasing um, some protective items from Etsy, and it was handmade protective items. And there was an option on there to tip the person who made the items. And so it's called Tip the Witch because it's a witch who's made the item. And it was kind of funny because Gandalf and Merlin were both like, always tip the witch. Like if you're buying something from a witch, you always tip the witch. And so that was kind of funny. Um, okay, but let's talk about the crystal grid on here. Do you guys want to? Okay, so they don't want to talk about the crystals any more than that. Most of this energy is coming from the coloring on it, although they were strategic with a lot of these. Okay, they interesting. They're just showing me pictures, almost like transformative energies for the throat, transformative energies for the heart, transformative energies for your uh, Alta Major Chakra, which is essentially the gateway to all higher information. Because without that chakra functioning as a major chakra, you cannot receive in full information from your third eye, information from your crown chakra, and any information that comes from a higher etheric chakra. If you hear me pausing when I'm speaking, I am still clearing stuff. So, whatever it is that this crystal grid slash this conversation is doing, it is just the blue colors are just clearing the heck out of my throat right now. It's funny because I don't have a cold. I'm not doing this when I'm talking to anybody else. This is only happening when I'm around this crystal grid. Kind of funny. So let's go ahead and activate this guy. I have several Amanda Ellis's sprays. The most obvious one is going to be her Archangel Metatron Teal Alta Major Energy Spray. So she literally has a spray for your Alta Major Chakra. It's insane. It smells, I'm not gonna lie, it smells like licorice. I don't even like licorice. It smells amazing. I would bathe in it. I don't know what she does to these sprays, but even if it's a scent you don't normally care for, if you come across it as part of her sprays, you may suddenly feel like, huh, I do like that scent after all. It's insane. It's literally magic. Okay, so that is the Alta Major Chakra. He brought in several other sprays, and I was kind of surprised by it. So let me see what order he wants to do it in. I should have asked him that sooner. Was that okay? Who do you want to do? So you do want to do him? Okay. He wants to do this one next. So let me talk to him about this because I did not ask him why we're using this. It's not immediately obvious, other than the color coincides with the colors we're working with. So this is Midnight Indigo, light in the dark. And so the color alone cannot be the reason we're using this because I have several other sprays. Well, maybe not several, but there's the Archangel Michael spray that's a similar color. They could have chosen the throat chakra spray from Amanda Ellis if they really just wanted to target the throat chakra. So, oh my gosh. Okay. Are you for reals right now? This is amazing. Okay. Yeah. Okay. He's saying to me, you have a throat chakra, which I don't know if I can actually, let me see if I can walk away from you guys for a second and grab my other. Yep. Just barely. Okay. So this is not one of the sprays we're using, but I want to show you the color. This is Amanda Ellis's throat chakra spray. This is the color of your throat chakra. It's this kind of vibrant, medium to light color blue. Metatron is telling me, you have a throat chakra. It is this color. He just said, you have a higher throat chakra. It is this color. Holy cow. And now my immediate question to him is, how many other higher chakras do I have that I don't know about? And he's laughing. Okay. We know that there's a higher heart chakra. Now he's saying higher throat. I bet you, do we have a higher no. Do we have a higher? No. Are those the only two? He's laughing. There's something he's not telling me. Well, he's not ready to tell me yet, so I'll just leave that alone. Okay, how about the wording on this? Nope, don't even pay attention to it. He's literally using this for the color. I guess he didn't want to confuse me by bringing in like Archangel Michael and having me think it was about Michael. Beautiful, beautiful smell. Oh, he's saying, he's saying this does matter. Light in the dark. He's showing me something that's closed up, that's opening, and light is coming through that opening. And so he's showing me, oh my God. So the higher throat chakra that nobody knew existed until right now, he's saying this is opening. No wonder my throat chakra is going insane. Okay, I'm going to do more of this one because I'm actually really excited about that. I don't know what a higher throat chakra does, but I'm sure it's the difference between speaking and communicating and expressing yourself in a quote normal way out your mouth versus the higher throat is going to be higher level communication. Gosh. Sorry guys. This I wonder if you guys are clearing things too. He's talking about telepathy. He's talking about um uh light language and speaking light codes and channeling divine information with its full power, not just the 3D body level power, but the higher chakra, the divine chakra level power. This is nuts. Metatron, this is the best crystal grid ever. So, no coincidences. Look what he pulled for us. So, this is Amanda Ellis's Jade Higher Heart Chakra. So, he's literally we're doing work today with heart chakra, higher heart chakra, throat chakra, higher throat chakra, Alta Major Chakra. This is crazy. Let's spray this one. I don't think I've really used this one other than to just. I feel like it smells like thyme a little bit. He says yes. Yeah, it smells like thyme a little bit. I think I've only used it really just to smell it when I first got it. But look at the color. It's funny because I actually do not associate the higher heart with this color. I associate the heart chakra with green, and I associate the higher heart chakra with pink. But it's no matter. This is actually a perfect color for our crystal grid, and these are all the chakras that trying to get functioning at once. Do you want me to spray this at the end right now? Okay. I'm like, why are you? This is the pure white light download spray from Amanda Ellis. Yeah, upon looking at this, where he's placing this, it made no sense. Why are you placing white light in the middle of these sprays? Because typically we place white light at the beginning, right? We're clearing out energy. And then now we're doing whatever we're doing, right? We always start with white light, or we start with spiritual protection and then we go to white light and then we do what we're trying to do. He's placing it here in the middle of these sprays because we just opened something. We just opened the higher throat chakra. We're touching upon the higher heart chakra. We're touching upon the Alta Major Chakra. Let's make sure there's nothing in there that we don't want there. We're going to use this white light. I want you to think about white light. Where do you want it to come from? Up. Okay, so I want you to imagine white light coming down through your crown, through the top of your head, down through the center of your head, down the back of your neck, down the back of your neck, through your heart. I wish I could show this to you guys. I almost need like a doll to like show this to you properly. So, shoot, how can I do this, Metatron? He did not tell me that I needed props. Okay, nobody laugh at me. I have a unicorn crystal here. We're gonna use this as a human representative. So pretend you're pulling in light through your crown, and I want you to bring it through the back of your head because I want it to hit that Alta Major Chakra, right about here. Then we're gonna go down the throat to the heart, and I want you to then bring it forward on your body because he's shown me higher chakras as being in front of our body. So I want you to bring it forward to your higher heart, your higher throat. So it's almost like a circle where we're coming down, we're going to go through, we're going to come out. So I'll talk you through it. Let's spray the white light. So bring this down through your crown chakra, down through the middle of your head, down the back of your neck. Okay, and from the back of the neck, I want you to go through your throat, down. So down your throat, down to your heart in your chest. And then let's pull this forward. So pull the white light in front of your chest, into your higher heart, and then up in front of your throat, up out in front of you, into your higher throat chakra. Oh man, I need to cough so bad right now. This is nuts. Well, no doubt this process is clearing something major for me. And just, you have to think, you have a chakra that you don't even know about. You've never opened it, you've never cleared it, you've never taken care of it in any way. And it must be like when somebody goes up into like the attic or an old closet, and it's like you have to creak it open. You have to see what's inside, and now it's like somebody's opening the window and fresh air is finally coming in. So it's going to take time to settle. I could not figure out why he picked these sprays. I was like, these sprays make no sense. Why do we have light in the dark? Why is he giving me white light in the middle? Why is he giving me Sanat Kumara love and light activation? At the end, no doubt. At the end of this. So we're going to now use love and light to activate all those chakras. Dang, Metatron. I'm so impressed with him right now, and he knows it. I am so impressed with him. So, this is what happens when you trust your guides and you follow what they are telling you to do, even though your conscious mind says, this won't work. This doesn't make sense. Why are we bringing in the higher heart when we're working on the Alta Major Chakra? Why are we talking about light in the darkness? None of these made sense except the very first spray. But I trusted him. I said, he'll explain it to me as we go. And here we are with him explaining this to me flawlessly as we go. So now that we've used white light to purge out all the old, dusty energies from all of those chakras we talked about, we're now going to use this really pure love energy to make sure everybody's activated. Now, we already know your crown chakra is already activated. Your throat chakra has already been activated. Even for all of you, I should probably give the warning that if you're watching this video, I hope that you watched my Alta Major Chakra like activation video. I hope you've watched that. Um, Pretty sure that's what it's called, but I'll have to take a look at that. But what this is really for is interesting. Obviously, we're going to be activating the higher throat chakra that we didn't even know we had. And he's also pointing to me. He's showing me this is also about the higher heart, because a lot of us have been so wounded that the very first thing to close up is your higher heart. It's not your 3D heart in your body, it's the higher heart. Because you lose connection to divine, or you can lose connection to divine when you're wounded and you don't know how to reconnect there. Okay. Everyone ready for an activation? So disclaimer for an activation, everyone reacts differently to things being activated. So I have no idea. Me soon into Metatron. What kind of impacts are we looking at? Oh, Ra wants to talk. Hi. What kind of impacts are we talking about for this? Nothing? He's saying don't even worry about it. He's saying this is not going to cause problems. You're not going to get a headache. It's going to be, he's like, you're not going to notice this. Interesting. All right, Ra. Ra said it, so it must be true. Love and light activation. Go ahead and take 3 deep breaths in and 3 deep breaths out, and let's just do it together. So let's do deep breath in. and out. Sorry, I forgot to say and out. Exhale, and then inhale again when you're ready. And exhale out. And this, you're going to just do your third inhale when you're ready. And your third exhale. This is the most beautiful smell. It's very similar to the pink lotus. I forget what it's called. I think it might just be called love energy. I'm going to look because I hate labeling these wrong. Pink lotus heart energy spray. So it's very similar to that one in smell. It's gorgeous. It's light. It's soft. It's loving. It's like if you could smell the way a flower looks when it's like a brand new blossom and it's opening. That's what this smells like. And so we are activating the divine higher throat chakra, and we're also activating the divine higher heart chakra for anybody who needs that help as well. Jeez Louise, guys, I really want to cough. I'm going to get off this video and I'm just going to cough a whole bunch. And when Susan watches this, I guarantee you she's going to be coughing too because she clears everything through her throat. It's kind of funny. Okay. So this month, this grid, the energies that are being sent to us from the Lyrans, this is all about prepping us for the year ahead. So how perfect is it that they're prepping us by opening up energetic pathways within our energetic bodies that give us better access to our divine selves. Because we're so used to connecting to this physical in our body version of ourselves, even the physical in the body chakras, right? But we're so much bigger than that. We think we're this, it's like symbolic, right? We think we are the size of this physical body that we are, but technically, energetically, we are much bigger than the physical body. Our chakras expand above our physical body, below our physical body, in front of our physical body. You are a 3D constellation of energy that expands well outside of your body, your physical body. And so this is symbolic also because as humans, we have this concept of who we are and what we are, and it's very small. But truly, if we tap into our divine selves, we will expand. We are much larger than how we view ourselves. And so we need to be able to start stepping into a bigger concept of ourselves, a bigger practice of how we live our lives and how we think and how we feel in order to be the light workers that we came here to be. And Metatron stopped talking, so that means he's done with this message. Are you all done? Yeah. So Metatron said everything he wanted to say. Okay. Thank you guys for being here. This crystal grid, if you want to watch this portion of the video, the crystal grid portion of the video later, be my guest. I think I'm going to because whatever it is I'm trying to clear, there's a lot of it. And so I feel like I might need to view this a couple times to make sure I really push through everything. We'll have a picture of this crystal grid available on the website. It'll be labeled as Alta Major Chakra Support Grid. And again, you can view this at any time. You only need to view it for maybe 30 seconds to get the full effect from it. If you feel like you need to come back to it again, come back to it again. You don't have to. Whatever you feel drawn to do is the best answer for you. So feel comfortable tuning into yourself and knowing, okay, I saw the grid once And that's as much as I need to see it. And that is going to be true for many people. And then there will be other people who know I should come back to this again. I'm normally one of the people that never comes back to a crystal grid, but I'm struggling so bad right now that I know without a doubt I need to keep looking at this until I clear whatever it is I've pulled up out of the depths of me. All right, this is everything that I have for you guys. I love you all. I will see you next time. Bye bye.